Good afternoon, everyone. It's Bhat from Digital Leopard. And today we've got with us Antonio Lam from Shores Legal Limited, who is an immigration lawyer. Antonio, could you tell us a little bit about your business?
Hi, everyone. Of course we can. We are effectively an immigration business. We help small, medium enterprises in bringing their employees over to the UK. We strategize their immigration pathway all the way through to getting the visas and settling the business in the UK as well.
I'm guessing that you are quite busy now with Brexit approaching.
Indeed, it wasn't the case, I suppose, a few months back, but I suppose as we're approaching towards the end of the transitional period, people are thinking more and more about the future. And the future is important because it's not just about Brexit itself in terms of mobility and relocation, but it's also about what rules that we're going to see in the future, both for European nationals and also for non-European nationals. So indeed, I think during this period and continuing probably for the next few months, we're going to see a heck lot of planning and work that's involved in order to stabilize the minds, of course, of people, and obviously making sure that everybody's working legally in the UK as well.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a little bit tricky because we don't have clear guidelines just yet. And when we chatted earlier, you said that most likely there will be different rules with regards to every country in Europe, not just the European Union as a whole, as I thought would be the case.
Absolutely, and that I suppose the confusing part about Brexit itself is we have two conjoining theories. I suppose that's coming into play, on two conjoining sort of rules coming into play. One set for European nationals who are in the UK, and then we have a whole new set of immigration rules, for example, that literally just got published last week, Thursday, which contain around 514 pages that I'm still digesting as we speaking here. So there's a whole bunch of new things that are coming in. So people are scrambling to understand those systems and putting the right practices in place as those rules are falling into play. But of course, as the negotiation continues as well, we are seeing different countries activating some of the agreements that have been in place. Some haven't confirmed yet. So there's still quite a lot of balls up in the air, so to speak. But I think as we get towards the 31st of December mark, we'll be getting a lot more and more of those rules that's supposed to come into play on the 1st of January.
It sounds quite tricky. What is the sort of general behavior in the market at the moment? Are people frantically hiring before the Brexit deadline, or are they waiting to see what happens?
I think there's a lot of sit and wait, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
Not really because of Brexit itself, but I suppose because 2020 has been a very, tremendously different year to any other years, as you can imagine. And so it's about looking at, how to do, disaster recovery, for example. How do we actually plan for the future if it's not just about Brexit, but what if another pandemic hits,
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. I mean, have been planning, people have been stalling, then people have been activating, and now they're stalling back again and say, actually, we might want to sit and wait a bit. So there's been a lot of to and froing. But what we have seen, however, and we have been very, very pleased about that, is there's a lot of more non-European businesses that want to invest in the UK. And I think
wow, okay.
in particular for SMEs, we are seeing the opportunities for them to actually invest in the UK and taking that up as a right option to move over to the UK as well. So we're quite pleased to see that. So, Brexit or pandemic is two of the biggest thing this year, of course, but at the same time, the outlook itself is not too bad.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, because I stopped listening to news a while back. It's just depressing.
Absolutely. News can be very, 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 I think, depressing, I have to say. And sometimes we all have to look into our own perspective and say, what can we do next? And we just have to take that perspective.
Brilliant. So you started your business last year, haven't you?
Indeed, yeah, early last year. Yeah, that's right.
It's an interesting time to start. How has it been for you?
It's been tremendously difficult, but tremendously satisfying at the same time.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I mean, I come from a quite corporate background, working very traditionally as a lawyer, as an immigration advisor, and setting up this business was really because I wanted to help a few clients out, because they keep asking. So we were doing it, and we were doing things very traditionally, how I was doing things, for the last 15 years. But we realized we hit a stumbling block very middle on last year, literally within the first year of our operations. We were all pretty slumped and said, what have we done wrong? Because we've been having so much success over those years, that we've been employed and working at very good levels. So yeah, we had to rethink our strategy. We are not only on the business side of things, in terms of business modeling, in terms of how we speak to clients, but also our actual offering, how we are actually offering those services, to all the way to what is customer care. So we have to almost rebrand ourselves, rethink on what we are passionate about. So we sort of halfway through our first launch, we relaunched our
That's
business.
really interesting because usually businesses launch and it takes them a while to kind of find their feet, and then they rebrand maybe years later. It sounds like
Absolutely.
for you it's been quite a journey with like a real roller coaster since you started.
Well, definitely, we are quite restless people, unfortunately, and luckily we have, and I do thank my lucky stars in actually seeing our problem so quickly, in seeing what we're doing wrong, because before that we could be in years of investing our time, energy, money, and also our clients' time and money, in trying to learn what we have actually concentratedly, I suppose,
So,
learned over 6 months. Yeah.
so what's been the biggest problem that you faced so far?
I think it's the way that we deal with clients, because traditionally work, especially as immigration advisors, a lot of work come to us.
Okay.
So we do a lot of work transactionally. We only need to look at the client. We only need to advise diligently, of course, and lawfully about the case, conduct the case, and things are over. And we do aftercare service, and everything is very transactional, very systematic, so to speak.
Mm.
But we learned very quickly that actually business is not like that, and that's not why we entered and started a business. We started a business because we want to speak to our clients. We are passionate about speaking with our clients and helping them plan things. So we learned that it's not just about the case that we're doing. It's not about the person that we're just working with, but it's about a much greater model of things that we're working from. Their business growth, their personal well-being, the mental well-being, their relocation needs, all
Wow.
the way, of course, through to the actual visas itself, and the strategy of getting those visas and future visas for them. And we put all of that into into our nice little package that, to be honest with you, we offer as part of now our standard service without extra charge. And that's been very well received by a lot of our clients, which we no longer call clients. We actually call our client members, because we no longer see them as clients. We see them as members to our community. So we rebranded our firm as a community rather than a business itself.
That sounds amazing, and it sounds like a really great approach to customer care. If there was a piece of advice that you were to give
Mm.
to other fellow business owners, what would it be?
I think always learn. It doesn't matter how long or how experienced you have been running a business, or in past businesses, or how long you've been working. You will always hit a stumbling block, and those stumbling block can be very devastating to a certain extent. But if you always step back, learn what you've done wrong, you always, as an entrepreneur, think of something new, something that is actually needed. And if I may give an extra piece of advice, is always focus on your clients, or in our case, client members, because they dictate how you run your business, not how you dictate how you run your business.
That sounds great. And I agree on the learning point. I mean, you can know everything there is to know. You
Yeah,
can have years and years of experience, and then situation changes completely like now. And you
absolutely.
have to try and figure it out from scratch.
Absolutely.
Has there been any book that influenced your learning, like any book that you would like to recommend to others?
Not necessarily book, but there's a concept that I definitely would recommend. It's the enterprise design concept that I would recommend to everybody. I know there are organizations that offers that type of training, even or reading for free. Um, and it talks about, well, traditionally is used to design technological software, enterprise software for clients. But if you really dissect that apart, and look at it in a customer facing point of view, as a service product point of view, then I think you'll gain a lot of success out of it.
Oh, so where can you find this concept?
I believe, without mentioning any names, IBM actually has a enterprise design training program that they do offer for free, and anybody can sign up. And that's something definitely I will recommend, because I personally, I mean, I've known there's a lot of schools of design concepts, but I find the IBM one to be one that is fairly intriguing and also very, very interesting as well. And I've looked at or revisit some of the concepts that they've done, and certainly I've picked up a lot over the last year as well, again, to implement into the services and offering that we're providing.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If you did, please press the like button below. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section. And whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please make sure you also press the bell button to be notified of our future videos.